afternoon, traveler. I didn't expect the honor of witnessing your harmonizing talents here in Mondstadt. Both, actually. A lady calling herself a mage asked me to come manage her flower shop. At about the same time, the Cat's Tail commissioned me to create a new fragrance for their establishment. Ending today's busy schedule with a drink crafted by you in person is truly a wonderful reward. I have faith in your choice.
Care to give this a try, Miss Emily?
Your artistry is truly a pleasure to watch. This tastes like a local variant of a Lumiduce Twilight. Am I right? The gentle and elegant taste, with its distinct layers combined with a hint of Mondstadt's characteristic scent, offers quite a welcoming flavor, all the while avoiding potentially discordant aromas. Though in reality, there's no need for you to be so conservative. I have quite a high tolerance for flavors that stray outside the boundaries of conventional wisdom. Your drink was nice, but it would be perfect if you could make one with a little more depth. A cocktail that shows off your unique understanding and enhances my impression of Mondstadt. If you need time to mull things over, perhaps you might find inspiration in a little light conversation? It really is. A while earlier, I watched a whole run of fair weather clouds float by, fluffy as pillows. It's not overly humid either, and the wind is gentle too. In such conditions, one's sense of smell is heightened, but not to an excessive degree. When scents are blended well, they naturally combine with the ambient context, leaving particularly powerful impressions. It seems something similar is true for mixology. As long as you choose a base of appropriate strength, the various flavors will blend seamlessly together. When mixed properly, All the ingredients work as one to create a most wonderful symphony for your taste buds. Yes, that's it. Now I think about it, layering distinct flavors doesn't really suit my personal preferences. Usually, after work my friends from the Maison Gardiennage sometimes treat me to a few drinks. I usually stick to fruit tea. That way I can get straight back to work after our gatherings. If it's before a holiday and my friends are in high spirits, I sometimes order a small glass of sparkling fruit wine. There was an officer named Terena who used to treat me to aged Corte wine. But since she was transferred to the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, we haven't had the chance. In the world of science, high-proof alcohol is a widely used solvent. I've grown well accustomed to the smell of it by now. Besides, when I'm slightly tipsy, my state of mind changes, which in turn alters my approach to perfumes. It doesn't matter if the result is good or bad, it's all about trying something new. So I don't mind drinks with just a little bit of alcohol, but I don't like anything too strong. They're part of my reward from the flower shop owner. Important ingredients for making perfumes. Thanks to these, I was able to complete my commission for the cat's tail. I studied Mondstadt's Cecilia flowers many years ago. In fact, the fragrance of Cecilia in certain fields has become synonymous with Mondstadt itself. However, this is a special case. Some cats are quite averse to the scent of Cecilia, and we need to be particularly mindful of their preferences. Windwheel aster. The various parts of the windwheel aster plant can be ground into a powder to extract their essences. I then blended the scents from its petals and leaves. The result carries the intoxicating sweetness of mead, while still emphasizing the fresh notes contained within the flowers, stems, and leaves. I just took it for a little trial run at the cat's tail, and the cats seemed to really like it, while the clients themselves found it comforting and invigorating. Extracting exquisite fragrances from ordinary overlooked ingredients? Oh, that's what truly brings me joy. Oh, thank you for asking. It's been going well, though this trip to Mondstadt has presented some unexpected challenges. When I first got here, I was relying on a copy of An Overview of Aromatic Substances and the Human Senses to identify promising local ingredients from the Mondstadt region. To my surprise, my trial fragrance, which used Valberry as the primary note, proved far too sweet in the context of a tavern, relaxing people so much that they ended up feeling drowsy. The bartender with the beautiful ears, for instance, fell asleep right at the bar. Let's just say that sweetness isn't always a case of the more the merrier. Maintaining an appropriate balance is beneficial for both body and mind. Even in daily life, I rarely eat sweet food, and I try to avoid fruits like berries that have a high sugar content. In the end, I completely eliminated Valberry as an ingredient and turned instead to windwheel aster, with some success, I might add. Just from our brief chat, you've already formulated a new concoction. Perhaps you possess a natural talent for this kind of creative work.
Here you go. A new and improved, Emily-inspired, Lumiduce Twilight. I haven't come up with a name for it yet.
The colors are cooler and more refreshing, and the fragrance is delightfully subtle to match. Are these bright specks on the surface the crushed petals and leaves of windwheel asters? I'm sure it must taste wonderful. Let me try. In the language of flowers, the windwheel aster represents the visible winds. Your cocktail not only captures their form, but also the fragrance they carry. Therefore, I suggest you call this drink Windborne Bouquet. The winds and clouds of Mondstadt swirl together in the glass, leaving behind enchanting traces of fragrance. Really? Oh, perhaps it's just a habit of my profession. I'm glad you like it. Now it's time to slowly savor this masterpiece. Thank you so much. This trip to Mondstadt has been so rewarding. This is the most memorable cocktail I've ever had. Once I get back to Fontaine, I will attempt to recreate this moment as both a fragrance and a perfume. Once I've perfected the recipes, I hope you'll do me the honor of being the first customer to experience these new products. Until then, I look forward to seeing you in the Court of Fontaine.
So you're looking after the drink stand now. If I'd known sooner, I would have stopped by this morning. I've got to say, I'm getting curious. I've heard a lot about your mixology skills. I wonder what kinds of drinks you can mix with the ingredients Glenfiddich has prepared. I don't have much of a choice. It's just one thing after another right now. First off, the Knights of Favonius annual combat assessment is coming up. And this year, the standards are higher than ever. As the captain of the reconnaissance company, I have to lead by example. At the very least, I need to rank as one of the top 3 captains in the practical portion. So, I've been intensifying my training lately. Being a descendant of sinners means I have to work hard to maintain my position. I'll have you know I've never once neglected my duties. Anyway, on top of all that, my duel with Miss Clorand required a lot of focus and energy. Learning how to turn defense into attack and seize the initiative when facing a combined assault from sword and musket. Even now, I'm still chewing through the details. But in the end, the exchange went well, and both parties learned a great deal. Never mind writing reports from 6 different perspectives. I feel like there's enough worth mentioning to write 24 of the things. Oh, I sure could. Anything that'll perk me up would be welcome. I'll leave the details to you.
One twinkling starlight for Captain Eula. Hope you like it.
Judging by your confident tone, I'm certain I will. Well then, I'll make sure to savor this thoroughly. Huh, not bad. Sweet and tingly, with a delightful airiness. The fizzy water really brings it to life. I suddenly feel full of vim and vigor, but just one glass doesn't quite scratch the itch. How about something with a bit more bite? Don't hold back. You don't need to worry about putting me on the floor with nothing but a couple of drinks. Works for me. The first company hasn't assigned me any paperwork for tonight, so I'm free to catch up and try your new creations at my leisure. If you want to know what I've been eating recently, I'd better start by mentioning the logistics company's latest revolution. They launched a diet improvement initiative and started distributing a form of standardized canned food to knights operating in the wilderness. In the past, we only had dry rations. Every mealtime we had to set up pots and campfires, roll dice to choose a cook, and take turns standing guard. In all honesty, it was a bit of a hassle. Now we just need to bring our standard field rations, comprising of 5 cans and 9 paper packages. We can heat the cans by the campfire, and then we're ready to eat. You did say, sounds like, right? Our canned food supplier has quite the stellar reputation, and their regular meals are indeed quite good. The problem is, in order to meet preservation standards, they have to make their military-grade meals way too salty. The vice captain of the 5th Company, who has a somewhat dry sense of humor, went so far as to say, this food's bad enough to bring down the wrath of Liyue's stove god. In any case, after eating it for a week, my taste buds have gone completely numb. You can hardly blame the logistics company. After all, it is hard to please everyone. Our feedback has already been submitted, and they should be working on fixing the issue. Of course, having fresh meals prepared in camp by a dedicated company chef is still the best option. That's right. The merchant I got it from called it Romaritime flower fruit extract. It has a very unique smell. Here, have a bottle. Oh, it's a necessary courtesy. In that book Miss Magistus lent me, The Blade Dancer, 20 years on, it says, after a duel, a Fontanian swordsman will politely invite their defeated opponents to a banquet. To properly play host to Miss Clorande, I searched for quite some time to locate a rare goods merchant in Dorman Port who sold this juice. I had my doubts at first, too. But Amber said something that makes a lot of sense. She said that even if this custom doesn't really exist, following it still shows I've made an effort to understand Fontaine's cultural heritage. Besides, who doesn't like trying new things, right? When I gave it to her at our post-training banquet, Miss Clorande really did enjoy this juice. Yes, I have. For a while, the situation there was difficult. A gang of outlaw engineers was messing about with some sort of mechanism control technology, attempting to manipulate ruin graders so they could rob merchant caravans. To make matters worse, several veteran knights who had been stationed at Dorman Port were transferred to my squad, and they weren't happy to be taking orders from that Lawrence girl. Leading them on this mission was quite eventful. It took 3 weeks of stealth operations in the snow, with no fires to keep us warm, before we finally located the enemy's stronghold. Those veteran knights faced the bitter cold and were almost taken down by the enemy's smuggled battle mechs. Fortunately, the battle went our way, and they had no choice but to acknowledge my abilities. Me? I'm completely fine. But thank you for your concern. It was mentally tiring for sure, but fortunately, the operation wore them down far more than it did me. They won't be questioning my authority again anytime soon. If any new recruits try to make my life difficult, I'll just have my veterans give them a few friendly pointers. I guess you could call them a permanent solution, huh? Oh my. To be honest, before we crossed swords, I was feeling eager, but also a little nervous. Miss Cloran's combat style comes from the mysterious Marechaussee hunters. In the library, there are some old Fontanian newspapers from hundreds of years ago that give some idea of how formidable an organization it was. A more recent newspaper claimed that Miss Cloran was an orphan from an underwater kingdom, and that before battle she would perform rituals inviting spirits to possess her sword. Certainly, from my own experiences, Miss Cloran's abilities more than match those descriptions. Incorporating elements of swordsmanship into a drink? Huh. Certainly a creative idea, I'll give you that. A commemorative cocktail at a time like this sounds nice, but how do you plan to express something like swordsmanship with a drink? That definitely matches the description I read in that book. That's right. You really know your stuff. I doubt there's anyone else in all of Tevat who could come up with such a perfect metaphor. There's no need to make it sound so fancy. It's just an aristocratic variant of Favonius bladework, with a bit of personal flair. Firewater. In recent years, firewaters gained popularity the world over, following in the wake of prosperous Snezhnayan merchants. These days, almost every tavern has a signature drink that uses it as a base. You really are good. Why don't we try replacing the fruit wine with firewater? As for the alcohol content, that's not a problem. Plenty of the expedition team may have drunk themselves senseless with firewater. But me, I'm full of confidence. Brilliant! I'm looking forward to seeing how you do.
Here's your all-new Seafoam Sword Song, mixed to meet your personal preferences.
Oh my, what beautiful colors! And you even added my Romaritime flower fruit extract. The aroma is perfect, and I can smell the alcohol, but it doesn't stifle the fruity fragrance. Let's see how it tastes. Give me a moment to come up with the right words. I need to think carefully. I know it's unbecoming of a lady, and a proper connoisseur would savor their drinks slowly. But I'm sorry, this is just too good to be true. Can you mix me another? Oh, no, what was I going to say? I've completely lost my train of thought. Whatever. I feel fantastic. This cocktail... Oh, it's the best I've ever had. I think I'm gonna head home and get some sleep. Don't worry about me. This is the happiest tipsy I've been in years. I'm still far from being drunk. By the time I've written up those reports for my exchange with Miss Clarend, I'll have been on duty for 3 months straight. Jean, the acting grandmaster. Isn't it about time she gave me some time off? I won't be forgetting this injustice in a hurry. You mark my words.
Suspicion confirmed. While patrolling the area, I was sure I'd sensed a familiar presence, so I came over to take a look. And sure enough, here you are. If Miss Charlotte were to see you like this, I'm guessing she'd take 100 pictures and write up a report. Sword-wielding traveler's secret side hustle. Exclusive cocktails from Tevat's Explorer Extraordinaire. You'd make the front pages of every major newspaper. And there'd be crowds of Fontanian tourists flocking to your drink stand, causing gridlock on the streets of Mondstadt. Luckily for you, I turned down Miss Charlotte's request to accompany me here. so you're unlikely to be seeing any scenes like that. Let's quietly celebrate this moment of peace. And on that note, I'd like a caramel blaze. That look on your face tells me you have a lot of questions you want to ask. Calm and effortless. I'm shocked to learn you're a real pro at this sort of thing.
Your caramel blaze is ready. Try not to drink it all in one go.
It sure lives up to its name. The color reminds me of a raging fire, while that aroma really hits you head on. It's quite strong. I'm all right. I just need a little time to get used to it. As I recall, the last time I drank alcohol was at a wine tasting event that Navia invited me to last year. I only had a small sip of Sassica wine, and it was nowhere near as strong as this concoction of yours. From a purely rational perspective, alcohol can cause dizziness and impair one's ability to work, so it's best avoided altogether. But when Miss Farina saw me off at the docks, she mentioned that Mondstadt is the land of wine and poetry. Since I'm here, I thought I should at least try the local specialties. In fact, Captain Eula, whom I sparred with earlier, has quite the refined taste for fine wine. She even gifted me a bottle of Romaritime flower fruit extract, which is no longer produced in Fontaine, and can now only be found overseas. Out of the utmost respect for her skills, I feel compelled to deepen my knowledge of Mondstadt's wines. I truly appreciate all the trouble you're going to. Huh? Does that mean she's already finished her commission? Well, she's certainly efficient. Once I return to Fontaine, perhaps I can let Sigewinne know that I'd be happy to purchase her latest perfume. I'm not sure I'd say that. On my way to Mondstadt, we happened to take the same boat. Naturally, we got to chatting. I've often heard Sigewinne praise her work. After conversing with her on the journey over, I must say, she is indeed a rare and refined individual. She's gentle and composed, yet keeps others at a distance. Perhaps it's due to her profession. I find this approach ideal. It allows one to maintain a lasting sense of inner peace. Oh, thank you, but there's really no need to set anything up. Our work rarely intersects. and our social circles hardly make for a Venn diagram, if you know what I mean. Best to just let things take their natural course. Indeed it is. The knights codenamed Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5 gave me this crest. I must say, it's exquisite. They told me the design has only just been finalized. Apparently, it's only presented to important guests. They said they're making a badge for you, too, but it hasn't been finished yet. You're not wrong. I guess it's similar to how I can't remember the name of every clerk in the Palais Mermonia. But I'm certain you'll get to know them in time. They're clearly seasoned veterans. Even though they work desk jobs, they still turn up in full armor. After handling my affairs, they headed to the tavern for a gathering, saying they wanted to continue last night's duel and determine who had the highest alcohol tolerance. Drinking barrels of beer the night before, yet being able to work with clear minds the next day. So what you're saying is, while Mondstadters may seem carefree, they actually have an admirable ability to know their limits when it comes to drinking. When I'm working, I often drink coffee. But with meals, I prefer a lighter tasting drink, like Buell fruit juice. Since I eat a lot of meat, the slight acidity of the juice helps balance out the greasiness. Over time, I've grown accustomed to the sour taste. After the swordsmanship exchange, the Knights of Favonius rather kindly treated me to some traditional Mondstadt cuisine. I had 8 different meat dishes, and all of them were excellent. The portions were huge, and only the highest quality cuts were used. Everything was cooked to absolute perfection. Of course, there was still room for improvement. When catering to tourists, the sticky honey roast and pile 'em up might benefit from a slightly lighter sauce. I've certainly tried all the red meat dishes. I think I've had enough calories to sustain 3 days of vigorous work, so I've had to decline all subsequent dining invitations. To be honest, I can still taste the grease. There must be a way to cleanse my palate. I've seen a little. I took a stroll around the city the first day I got here. Navia's done some rather extensive research on this place. Many of the scenes and illustrations for the tabletop troupe were inspired by views of Mondstadt. However, the way she describes the atmosphere in her world building is quite different from the real Mondstadt. The deepest impression I've got since arriving here is one of swords and shields. Perhaps because I've mostly just visited the blacksmith and the training grounds. Recently, the newer weapons and armor produced in Mondstadt have been created using a completely different heat treatment process from those in Fontaine, with a higher carbon content in the surface layer. While this has slightly reduced their overall toughness, their impact resistance has greatly improved. These newer weapons give off a smell like overbrewed coffee. Perhaps it's because that scent gave me such a positive first impression. You see, Fontaine's signature metalwork is often coated with a protective agent that contains Marcotte. Over time, the faint fragrance becomes overly sweet. And for some reason, it makes my teeth feel funny. I don't imagine the scent of Mondstadt's swords and shields would cause the same level of irritation. Of course, there is a solution to this problem. The next time you find yourself in Fontaine, there's another protective agent I can recommend. One that's as neutral as water, without any excess fragrance. If you also dislike being bombarded with sweetness, This protective agent should suit you well. Are you already planning the details of our hypothetical get-together? Based on my previous experiences with alcohol, I guess my tolerance is similar to Emily's. Fruit liqueur is probably my limit. So when the time comes, I think you'd be best off mixing similar drinks for the both of us. All right, I'll make sure I'm mentally prepared. Even if it's still a bit strong, I'll do my best to finish it.
Alright, this new creation is called Leisure Time Lightning. A cocktail made exclusively for champion duelists. Enjoy.
Have you added fruit wine? It tastes wonderful. This is ideal for me. There's a subtle saltiness that combines well with the tartness of the fruit and the sweetness of the caramel. Each sip balances delicately on the edge of perfection. The color of the wine also fits well with the name, and the lightning imagery contrasts with the fiery nature of the caramel glaze. But where does the leisure time part come in? I see. That certainly matches the impression this cocktail gives me. Its unique aroma and taste will hold a special place in my memories of Mondstadt. Do you think, if the chance were to present itself, you'd be interested in mixing drinks somewhere else? A cafe, for instance, or the Hotel de Boer? Mostly for Navia and Miss Farina's sake. Though obviously I'd be more than happy to try more of your masterpieces myself. I understand. I won't try to strong-arm you. In any case, I truly appreciate your hospitality. Thanks to you, whether I'm summarizing the key lessons from my exchange with Miss Eula, or discussing strategy with the Knights of Favonius, I'll be in my best condition.
Huh? Is that Mr. Honorary Knight? Yippee! It's you! Auntie Eula told Klee that Miss Hertha had found someone amazing to help out. Seeing you here, Mr. Honorary Knight, Klee knows this must be the best drink stand in all of Teyvat. You mean this stand isn't already the best? Well, out of all the drink stands Klee's ever visited, Mr. Honorary Knight's is easily the best. And no matter what drinks Mr. Honorary Knight makes, Klee will definitely think they're yummy. Oh, you want me to be mean? But Klee could never be mean to you. Let me think. I know! I'll pretend to be Albedo! Whenever Albedo reviews Timaeus' work, his face goes super serious. And Klee can hear every word he says. Get ready for Klee's super amazing order! I'm going fish blasting with Mom soon. Don't tell Master Jean, though! So, Klee wants to order a fair weather frolic. Anything like a bright sunny day will definitely put Klee in a super duper mood. I wonder what it'll taste like.
your Fairweather Frolic is here. Go on, give it a try.
Wow! So, a Fairweather Frolic is this color? Purple sky. Is it supposed to be a bright, shiny night? Clee will take a sip first. Then you can think about it more carefully. Ah, finished. Yummy! Both sweet and sour. If Clee drank this while eating grilled fish, I could definitely gobble down 2, or 3, or 4, or even 5! But one drink isn't enough. Clee wants to try a drink that tastes like cake. Clee doesn't know what drink to choose. Why don't we decide together, Mr. Honorary Knight? Yeah, Mom gave me an amazing book recently. She said I have to read 1 chapter every night, learn something useful, and then go to bed early. That book taught Clee how to make something called propellant. Now Jumpy Dumpty can go and bounce even higher. It's not hard at all. In fact, it's a lot like making bombs. You just have to be careful when trimming it down. It's like sharpening a pencil that could suddenly go boom. Bedtime's an important part of Clee's schedule, too. Mom sits by my side and tells me all kinds of wonderful stories. She has a lamp made of gemstones, and when she turns it on, it goes kabling and lights up the ceiling. Yeah, when something happens in the story, the lights on the ceiling make pretty pictures. Sometimes Mom falls asleep before the story ends, so Clee has to tuck her in instead. As soon as Clee learns how to use the lamp, I can come tell you stories, Mr. Honorary Knight. Clee has memorized so many wonderful stories, enough to make everyone happy every day. This stuff? Mom taught me how to make it using the alchemy bench. A dash of sugar, then a lot more sugar, then some flowers from Mom's friend in Fontaine, star honey from Auntie Barbie, and finally, some magical jam from Auntie Tavia. Put everything together on the alchemy table, wish for the shape you want, then recite Mom's incantation, and poof! Dodoko-shaped candy! Clee can give you some Dodoko candy too if you want. And if you really like them, I can even teach you my mom's incantation. That way, you could make your own candy whenever you want. If you get stuck, remember to come ask Clee. When it comes to magical candy, I'm an expert. Yeah, when Clee gets back home, I'm gonna eat some salted nuts while reading my book. Clee used to eat cake after dinner, but Master Jean said it's too sugary, and it's not good to eat sugary things before bed. Apparently, it makes you chubby and gives you toothaches. So, Mom got some advice from Auntie Barbie, and now she gives me nuts instead. She says they help my brain remember things better. Nuts don't have much flavor. It's like chewing on grass, but they're okay if you add a little salt. Three square meals? Clee often eats 5 meals a day, sometimes even 7. Adventuring takes a lot of energy, and if I eat too much at once, I can't run so well. So, it's better to eat lots of smaller meals. Albedo used to prepare all Klee's meals, and my lunchbox was always arranged so neatly, just like a pretty painting. When Albedo's busy at Dragonspine, Klee goes to eat with the other Knights of Favonius. Kaya's camp is usually the neatest, while Amber sometimes camps in the trees. It's so much fun! Oh, and Auntie Hertha makes the best food. When my mom comes back, there'll be even more yummy food to eat. There's this one dish where she takes loads of different fish and makes them into little pudding cubes. It's called Rainbow Fish Jelly. Her Chocogo Crunchy Slices are fantastic too. It's her newest creation made with chocolate and cookies. They're a little bitter, but they're crunchy. They smell scrumptious and they have a really sweet aftertaste. Whenever I eat them, I feel so full of energy. Next time, Klee will have to bring some for you to try. Oh yeah! Klee still wants to eat sweet things, like cake, for example. Maybe we could just go easy on the cream? Or add more fruit? Oh, right! That friend of Mom's who's always wearing glasses gave her a big bag of Fontanian Buell fruit. They're so round and rolly. Klee ate a whole bunch of those, and they were super sweet. But Master Jean said it was okay, because sweet fruit isn't the same as sweet sugar. So if Klee really has to eat nuts, maybe I can just soak them in some fruit juice first? Yeah, that was quick. Klee's looking forward to finding out how tasty your next concoction is.
It's done! I just know you're going to love this new creation.
Wow! There's Dodoko candy on top! There's so much orange in this cup, and Dodoko looks like he's lying on top of white fluffy clouds. And the weather inside looks much better, too. Yummy! It's so delicious! Klee has to drink slowly. I can't just gulp it down, or I'll miss all the yummy flavor. Mr. Honorary Knight, this is amazing! It's like you mixed sunshine with juice! Klee was so tired from playing, but now I feel refreshed. And warm. And peaceful. Oh. You're the best, Mr. Honorary Knight. Really? Let me think. When the weather's nice and Dodoko's happy, Dodoko will want to sing, right? And when Dodoko sings, Klee wants to sing too. So, let's call it Dodoko's Duet. Thank you! And thanks for making such a yummy drink for Klee. Klee's gonna go tell Mom that the best drink in Mondstadt right now is Dodoko's Duet. Klee's gonna write down Mom's incantation and give you a copy, Mr. Honorary Knight. Then, you should learn magic too, so you can make all the candies you want. See you next time!
So Hertha's even roped our honorary knight into helping with this little venture. When we were discussing the drink stand earlier, I took one look at the menu and could barely contain my excitement. Now, it's finally time to sample the finished products. Can't wait to see your skills in action. Give me something that goes well with casual conversation, but still packs a punch. Of course they don't clash. A drink that packs a punch means you have to drink it slowly. And if you want to chat, then it has to go down smooth. So, something with a sweet aftertaste. A conversational connoisseur requires the perfect balance. The most suitable choice on this menu would be the Thorny Lake. It's a drink with a real kick that you can find in almost every bar. It's not enough to know the recipe, though. The key is in the mixing. Some bartenders choose to stick to the tried and tested basics, while others like to add their own personal flair. That's the spirit! Now, show me what you've got.
Grandmaster, I hereby present you with this thorny lake for your enjoyment and assessment.
Well, the color and aroma are certainly on point. But as for the balance of flavors, I'll just have to taste it and find out. Not bad. You haven't overdone or skimped on any single ingredient. Though, unfortunately, it's a little too, polite for my tastes. Perhaps I should have said modest. You followed the formula to a T, but if anything, you've played it a little too safe. Were you worried that deviating just a little might disappoint me? Hey, we fought side by side and dealt with things that even gods were loath to meddle with. Ours is a friendship forged in the margins between life and death. That said, if you ask me, you can ditch the nerves and work your mixologist magic. I'm looking for something that shocks the senses. Mull it over, there's no rush. We can chat while you think. Who knows? You might just find some inspiration to mix in with your magic. I like your style. Speaking of this garden, it brings back memories of something that happened many years ago. When I was young, I liked to find ruined guards to test my fighting skills, both armed and unarmed. Once, I failed to take down a stray missile, and it ended up destroying a watchtower on the city walls. As punishment, I had to run 50 laps around the city, repair the watchtower, and help rebuild the shattered walls in this garden. Indeed, among the misadventures of my youth, this is one of the most memorable ones. Mostly because that day, Crepus saw me covered in dirt. He took 2 bottles of 100-year-old wine and sent D-Luke, who looked even younger than Mika does today, to work out a clever way to get rid of Faru, who was guarding me. It was so hot that day, I could swear I was about to pass out. On a whim, I picked some mint leaves, put them in one of the wine bottles, and the result turned out to be surprisingly tasty. After Crepus tried it too, he was full of praise. He even wrote up an official recipe for my spontaneous creation. His customers loved it. Several summers passed, and Crepus kept writing letters about giving me a share of the profits, as though I could possibly accept. Yes, good old Crepus. Faru retired years ago, but he still gives me a stern stare every time we meet. He's a stubborn one. D-Luke, who replaced him, and then Kaya, who took over later, both performed impeccably. Changing times will always belong to the youth. He should have admitted defeat long ago. When I get the chance, I'll have Kaya show him the amazing progress the Cavalry Company has made. It's a treasured place that the Knights of Favonius have maintained for years, so it makes sense that it's become the go-to location for organizing such things. I heard that while the expedition was underway, you were a great help in giving those left behind the opportunity to put their energy to good use. Sometimes, I look through the photos I've been given from those events, though unfortunately, there aren't enough to include everybody. My conclusion is that Mondstadt needs to do more to popularize the camera. Pretty awesome, huh? It's like a hammerhead that you can fill with wine when you're not using it to pound in nails. It was a gift. Huffman came up with the idea, Charles supplied the design, Wagner helped cast it, and about 10 or so knights chipped in to pay for the materials. They've been waiting to have a good drink with me, and this is my crucial weapon to aid me in a fair duel with them all. I'm the Grand Master, after all. I've been drinking a lot longer than them. I've practiced more assiduously, and I have a bit more, meat to absorb the blows. So it's only fair to my subordinates that I drink a teensy bit more per round. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, some of them have been training as long as I have, and those ones won't be getting any special treatment. Take Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5, for example. Both were skilled warriors who helped me deal with Eric back in the day. Nowadays, I have them helping Jean with miscellaneous duties. At today's after-work cooldown, they insisted on trying to keep pace. In the end, they lost our game of darts and ended up passed out on the floor. I've already told Jean that I won't be approving their leave request for tomorrow, no matter what. Well, let me think. I guess you could say it lacks impact. Even when following the same recipe, the techniques used to mix different ingredients can affect the taste. Sometimes, deliberately creating layers between spirits can bring out the different, waves as each one hits the taste buds in sequence. In this regard, too, you've taken quite a tentative approach. Why not be a little bolder? Ha ha ha. You catch on quickly. No need to explain further. If I were in charge of organizing events, well, I suppose everyone would revolve around fine wine, or at the very least, there would be some sort of tasting involved. For example, we could go all in on this drink stand and open it to the whole city, with every company of the Knights selecting one or more mixologists to compete against each other. It's only a thought. Can't let things get too out of hand. If I were to actually throw a grand banquet, Jean would come after me with her sword drawn. Even Frederica would launch a punitive expedition. While in Nodcry, we had a rule that knights must never get drunk while at their posts. Otherwise, it could lead to dereliction of duty, with serious consequences. Exactly. As expedition members return to their companies, my hope is that this rule will gradually spread to everyone in Mondstadt too. Just like Firewater and Smedina, these Nodcry delicacies have made their way into Mondstadt's households and become part of people's daily lives. Young people need to learn restraint. At the end of the day, no one should be biting off more than they can chew. Unless it's someone near my level, they shouldn't even be thinking about enjoying a light buzz when they've still got work to do. Most people would just end up a whole lot drunker than they'd like. You should come practice with me on weekends. Trust me, once I've drunk them under the table, they'll be swearing off wine for a whole week. Huh? Oh, feel free. Whatever you're about to do, I've got a feeling I've hit the jackpot.
Here you go, Grandmaster. A cocktail just for you. I guarantee you won't find this one too polite.
Such a spirited drink. How did you make this? Well, that burning scent of firewater. Oh, it's as if the very air were about to ignite. This is more like it. Perfection. It's clear that once you let go of your inhibitions, your talents really shine through. That first hint of mint is like a cooling feint that masks the firewater underneath. By the time the sweetness dissipates, the firewater has already slipped in behind your guard, ready to deliver a powerful strike of intense flavor. Oh, it's exactly the impact I was hoping for. That's the most ingenious part. Firewater's greatest flaw is a lack of aftertaste, but the Smedina perfectly maintains the flavor at the peak of its intensity. It's hard to imagine something this good was created by a mixologist who doesn't even drink firewater. I think it has the potential to become a firm favorite in Mondstadt and Nodcry. Iron Wolf. Oh, perfect. It's elegant, yet wild. Only you could come up with such a fitting name. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we name our Knights of Favonius' drink stand after you? Let's call it the Honorary Knights Cocktail Shack. No time to waste. I'll go have a word with Glenfidia right away.
Traveler, all wrapped up for the day? Paimon hears you did a great job holding down the fort while she was out delivering drinks with Glenfidia.
Whatever the reason, the Honorary Knight is clearly one of the most talented mixologists in Mondstadt. Considering how short a time he's been doing this, I believe that someday he has the potential to give the legendary bartender at the Cat's Tail a run for her money.
I fully support your decision, Grandmaster. The Honorary Knight has really put in the hard yards. The drink stand will remain open for a little while longer to provide a proper welcome to our returning expedition members. Then, once we locate suitable premises, we also plan to look at operating a permanent service.
Hooray! Everyone in the Knights of Favonius will get to drink all the delicious cocktails they like!
Nothing short of what I'd expect from a true disciple of Hertha. You've really considered this thoroughly, Glenfidia.
Also, if I may, Honorary Knight, regarding the special cocktails you've developed, would you mind leaving the recipes with us? We'd like to add them to the official menu.
Paimon feels like there's something you still want to say. Let Paimon have a guess. Based on your personality, you probably want to introduce the origin of each different cocktail. That way, customers will know who inspired you to create these amazing drinks!
No problem at all. If you need, I can even have someone draft the paperwork on your behalf to secure you the rights to these new recipes.
I hope when we recruit some new bartenders, they'll be able to learn from your incredible skills. Even if they can't quite match your work, if they could be 2/3 as good, that would still make them industry leaders.
getting used to. Why didn't it happen the first time?
Ah, looks like we've jumped forward a bit since yesterday. We're at the Favonius Cathedral now.
Wait, is this the bit where we borrow the Holy Lyre? Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Also, why is Tone-Deaf Bard the only one here? What about Varka and the others?
Don't worry. I'm sure Nicole has it all planned out. See? Here comes Diluc now.
Word from the Knights of Favonius is that the Fatui are planning to steal the Holy Lyre der Himmel. Unfortunately, that intel came a little late. A conflict between the two parties is ensuing inside. If the Fatui succeed, we'll miss our chance to borrow the lyre. Come on. Let's go help the Knights. What is it?
Oh, so that's how we're explaining this part. Huh. Pretty convincing.
It's all thanks to that committed performance from our good friend Diluc.
I'm just reading the lines Miss Nicole gave me. You need to play along, okay? The cameras are rolling.
Don't worry. Our operation isn't that strict. If there are slip-ups, I'll just delete them later. Feel free to take a relaxed approach.
Wait, that was Nicole's voice? Where's it coming from?
Probably that small bubble.
That's right. This is a kind of communication magic. The same one the Knights of Favonius used to get in touch with me earlier. If you get stuck at any point, you can contact me through this magic, and I'll provide a few hints.
How very convenient. I suppose, given how the story is progressing, we don't have to worry about borrowing the Holy Lyre then.
That's right. Obviously, we're not including the stealing part in this version of the story. After all, the Fatui were the ones who ended up with it. Borrowing, stealing, leaving out that detail doesn't change the direction of the story. Anyway, the Knights are currently fighting to protect the Holy Lyre. Varka and Jean are already in the underground area. We should head over as well.
This is like getting to read the script before watching the movie.
I wonder what would happen if, this time, we managed to catch the Fatui thief in the act.
That would complicate things. Worst case scenario, we might need to do another take. So if you could refrain from going off script, that would be great.
Okay.
Someone's got an axe to grind.
I doubt you need a hint for this area. Go on now. The underground chamber awaits.
You're just in time. The situation is not looking good at the moment. The Fatui brought much more force than expected.
Yeah, it's turned into quite a mess.
You're not bad, boy. Against the Fatui, though, you'll need to try harder than that.
You ain't messing around, huh? Take this!
Oh no! If this keeps up, the Holy Liar's gonna be... Oh, sorry. Paimon can't do this. Nicole, shouldn't these people be wearing Fatui costumes at least?
Yeah, it's kinda hard to get in the zone when our opponents look like average guild members.
Let me see here. It looks like magical auto-load has been disabled, so the Fatui costume didn't appear. I'll get that fixed. Just ignore the problem for now and continue with the scene. Remember, this is a tense moment.
Got it. In that case, I'll evacuate the members of the church right away.
All right, thank you. As you see, Traveler, the situation is dire. We need to retrieve the Holy Lyre and get it back to headquarters.
Looks like the Fatui are tied up fighting the Knights. I doubt they have the manpower to spare to deal with us.
Which means, if we rush in, we should be able to retrieve the lyre.
You all sure are getting into character. Okay then, let's go!
If the conflict really had escalated to this point back then... Ugh. Just imagine the cleanup work.
Yeah, good thing it didn't turn out like that. No use thinking about something that didn't happen, right?
When your free time is as precious as mine, it's hard not to think about it.
I never thought I'd get the chance to spar with the cavalry captain.
I'm always up for a duel. As long as you treat me to a glass of wine after we're done.
I couldn't keep up with you after all, Grandmaster. It's like you've gotten even stronger since I last saw you.
Expeditions have a way of doing that to people. Ever consider taking your adventurers out on a long trip?
I think I'll pass.
No entry. This place is under Fatui jurisdiction.
How dare you stand in our way! You'll face our Harbinger's wrath soon enough!
What a coincidence. Or perhaps I should say, great minds think alike.
Yes, well, this looked like the most relaxed part of the performance. I'd prefer to get this over with and return to my work as soon as possible. I'm assuming you feel the same, Miss Lisa?
Of course. After all, this place suffers from a dire lack of comfortable chairs and good tea.
Well, well, well. It seems our outer diversions were most effective. The knights know not that the true danger lurks right beneath their nose.
It's no wonder you're known as the youngest, most capable electro-system mage in your unit. You can read our enemy like a book.
No! We're too late!
Put the liar down.
You heard her! Put it down and put him up! Or this is gonna get ugly! Wait, why are you the only one with a costume, Fischl?
Why? Because I fashioned this headpiece myself, of course. How does it look? I am the spitting image of an electro-Sisson mage, am I not?
And I suppose I look enough like an electro-Sisson as I am.
Hold on. Trying to distract me with conniving conversation, are you? Ha! You underestimate me. To think I would appear before you without full confidence in my victory. Go forth, Oz. Sissons, take care of these pests. The holy Lyre der Himmel belongs to the Fatui. Whoa, that was fast. Mage-powered flight is something else.
Fischl is... the Fatus is getting away! After her, quick!
Here, take it away, and don't let them catch you. That's nothing the gliding champion of the Fatui can't handle. Hey! That goes against gliding regulations! Pretty tough, aren't ya? Well, let's see how you handle this.
Oh. Paimon thought the Adventurers Guild were the only ones role-playing as Fatui.
Just thought I'd lend him a hand. Fischl didn't have time to make me a cool hat, though.
Amber's over there! Let's get ready to land!
Here they come! Positions, everyone!
She sounds this time. Wait a minute. This isn't what their hideout looked like. It's at least a few times bigger.
Yes. I remember it being much more run down. This place has far more structural appeal.
The Lawrence clan lived here for a time, but this doesn't look like their handiwork. And I know for sure it's not the work of the Knights.
Must be a bit of creative license on the part of our dear mages then.
Alice said the original was too run down and didn't fit her aesthetic taste. So we repurposed some assets from the Golden Apple Archipelago. As you can imagine, Alice has always been a go big or go home kind of person.
Yeah, this is go big, all right.
Still, our mission remains the same. We're here to get back the Holy Lyre.
Yeah, and this time we have a whole bunch of people to help us. Not just Diluc. Should be a total piece of cake.
A human never doubts what their eyes see or rejects the ground beneath their feet. Both now warn you that this is the end of the road. Give up and turn back while you can.
That voice. Is it Mona?
Mona? Oh, you mean Barberloth's student.
You know about her? But Mona came to Mondstadt after your expedition left.
Well, I had regular contact with the Hexen Circle, so her name came up now and then. The whole thing about her messing up and being too afraid to go back? Yeah, I know that too.
What? But how? No one in the Hexen Circle should know about that!
For real? Sorry, but I'm pretty sure all the mages know.
All of them?
I'm afraid so. Oh, except Rhindaughter, I suppose.
Fine. That's just fine. It's not like the old hag's gonna come find me in Mondstadt to settle the score, right?
Anyway, how do we cross?
I'm not telling.
Aw, come on. Don't take it out on us.
I'm not. This is unrelated. Besides, I'm playing a Fatus whose job it is to issue riddles. You can't just ask me for the answer.
All right. Almost forgot about that.
If you want the answer, think back to what I said at the beginning.
Mona's riddle was as follows. A human never doubts what there are. However, things that are taken to be indisputable are often false.
like Mika's guarding this spot.
Oh, hey! It's been a while.
Hello, Grandmaster. Hello, everyone. No. Wait, my line... how did you get in here?
I would think you have bigger concerns right now. Tell us where to find the lyre.
It's locked in the back room, but good luck getting in there. 3 crests are needed to enter, and each one is guarded by a Fatus.
Wait, but in real life, we only needed 1 key.
Yes, but there are 3 locations to visit. If there was only 1 key to be found, there's a good chance the encounters set up at the other 2 locations would go to waste. All our actors worked so hard to memorize their lines. It would be a shame if their part got skipped over.
A fair point. They're playing through the story just like us, after all.
To be honest, when I first read my lines, I was kind of confused at how I just give up the intel without a fight. But when I actually had to stand off against all of you, it made sense. I mean, Mr. Diluc practically had me in a cold sweat.
Really? I only had 1 line.
Aha! Yet in a game of cards, it's the ones that remain unturned that strike the greatest fear in your opponent. The same principle applies here.
That's right! And I've been told you have quite a few tricks up your sleeve, Mr. Diluc. Anyway, you can head in now. Everyone should be ready.
One moment. We can't quite end it like this. I believe you have 1 more line, Mika.
Do I have to say it?
It would benefit the scene.
All right. I told you everything I know. Now leave me alone.
And off he goes.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Without the crests, I can't activate this device either. Like I said, I thought I lucked out with just a few lines, but it still wasn't easy to pull off. Anyway, if you want to get into that room, you'll need to track down the 3 Fatui with the crests.
Looks like we were followed. Guess Mondstadt's elite aren't to be underestimated, huh?
Stand aside. This one's personal. But this time, I'm fully locked and loaded! Come on, kid! Let's finish what we started!
Let's play!
Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun!
Let's play!
That all you got?
Yahoo!
Can't run! Well, neither can I. Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun! I miscalculated. Okay. You win. Somehow this round wasn't quite as fun.
Probably because you had to act like a Fatus. At this point, I could take down those with my eyes closed.
True! Guess I didn't stand a chance, huh?
Oh, so you were the one in the Fatooth costume! Does that mean the auto-load bug is fixed now, Nicole?
It would seem so.
Man, their armor is heavy, and not breathable at all. You're telling me the Fatui and Sumeru and Natlan also wear this stuff? I can't even imagine.
Rumor has it, Fatui recruits undergo rigorous training. I feel like there's some truth to that after all. Well, even though we lost, Dad had fun for sure. Here's the crest I was guarding. You've earned it.
Oh, and Bennett told me about what happened in Natlan. How you helped him navigate his past. It's hard to believe we finally have answers after all these years. So, on behalf of all the adventurers in Mondstadt, truly, I can't thank you enough.
Well, that's what friends are for, right?
Speaking of, how have things been since you got back, Bennett?
Same old, same old. Bad luck included. But that part's nothing new, so I don't mind. I do miss the Asha, though. I hope I get the chance to show them Mondstadt someday.
Talk about bad luck. The minute you put on that Fatui costume, the gun stopped working. How weird is that?
Yeah, thanks for stepping in, Dad. Guess I'll have to hand it in to Miss Nicole for repairs later.
Here.
The Fatooth up ahead values wealth above all else. No bargaining chip is off the table. Luckily, I've prepared a negotiation multi-tool for this situation. Don't forget to take it with you.
Wait, Mona? Again?
What? The more roles you play, the more you get paid. That's what Alice said. I was hoping to do even more than this, but it is what it is. Anyway, the crest is with me. All I need to know is how much you're willing to cough up to get it. Let's talk business, shall we? I would have thought there was this much more to be made in a dump like Mondstadt.
Hey! Did you just break character?
What? Of course not. All right, here's the crest. Oh, and with that, I'm off the clock. Oh, and by the way, word has it you accomplished something major in Nodcry. You reeled in the true moon from beyond the false firmament. Well, I spend most of my time staring into a scry glass after all. If something changes in the sky, you think I wouldn't notice? Hydromancy uses the false stars to reflect true fate within the water. Now, I can't help but wonder what I would see if I cast a reflection of the true moon instead. Of course, I need a whole new set of equipment to look into that, which means shelling out a whole lot of mora. So I've been taking on a lot of odd jobs.
No wonder Alice gave you quite a few parts in this.
Generous compensation, minimal manual labor. It's been a good gig. Plus, the Hexen Circle never promises an amount they can't deliver. Even though her daughter is, in some part, responsible for my predicament. That was a long time ago, and I know Klee didn't mean it.
Huh. I guess the moon's a big deal in hydromancy. Just spitballing here, but it kind of sounds like your progress would be much faster if you, I don't know, just contacted Barbeloth directly.
Oh, come on. Enough about that old hag. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Oh, come on. Enough about that old hag. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, the road ahead is almost completely blocked. Looks like this person isn't taking visitors. Yes, we'll just have to be careful. We need that crest.
The Vatus up ahead is a pragmatist. You might have a chance to avoid conflict if you obtain the other crests first.
What? They handed over their crests? Looks like the decision has been made for me, then. Further resistance would be foolish.
Gotta say, Paimon didn't expect you to play this kind of role, Durin.
Well, actually, Aunt Alice was planning for me to play Dvalin if the dragon himself didn't agree to take part. That was the backup plan. Apparently, there's a spell like the one used to make Simulanka that could change me back into an evil dragon.
That does not sound like a good idea.
I have to agree. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
I don't think I'd be very good at playing the evil dragon anyway. I'm not intimidating enough. Luckily, Dvalin agreed to take part after all, so my role was switched to Timid Fatui Guard B, and I got to wear a costume instead.
Wow, that's a pretty huge change. Why B, though?
Oh, because Mika is Guard A.
As expected, Alice has got it all planned out.
Alright, we got all the crests. Let's head back and look for Mika.
I'm just glad I didn't have to play the evil dragon in the end.
Let's play!
right. This elevator's a bit complicated to operate, so Miss Nicole asked me to help activate it. Just one moment.
Thanks.
No problem. Best of luck up there.
Huh. I don't remember Fatui being this nice. Where's the fun in that?
Of course you want to make things difficult. Come on, let's get out of here.
Best of luck up there.
Security's tight around here.
I hope this is safe.
The Holy Liar! There it is! Wait, but Paimon remembers something about a...
Hot-blooded, careless, and reckless heroes! Despair, for you have stepped into my trap! Wait, what? All it did was lock the liar up? Well, I wasn't the one who designed it! All Alice said was that activating it would turn the tables.
I see.
That checks out.
They laugh as if they already know what is to transpire. I do not have a good feeling about this. Allow me to clarify before we proceed. How was it that the liar was retrieved back then?
From what I've heard, the Fatui agent guarding this place was given a thorough beating, and then the lock opened.
So then, I'm the one who walked into the trap?
Do not despair, mein Fräulein. Miss Alice provided us with backup, did she not? We are not entirely outmatched.
'Tis true. Though thine princessin stands on the cusp of defeat, courage has not yet failed her. Let this be our last stand! Come forth, my loyal servants! Smite all who stand against us! Time for takeoff.
Here we go!
The Ravens get confused if they don't...
Group 2, reinforce!
Brace yourselves!
Group 3, Group 4! Oh, forget it. All of you, attack at once! most capable servant of all. He shall dispose of you in one fell swoop.
As you wish, mein Fräulein. Our situation is dire, mein Fräulein. It seems this is the end of the road.
Alright. I give up. Just don't hit me. Alright. I know when I'm beat. You win.
You were brilliant, Miss Fischl. The recording was fantastic. I'm certain future participants will have a great time.
Yeah! This role was perfect for you!
Huh. Your praise is a compliment to your own good sense. Yet know that this is but the least of your princess's abundant talents.
Huh. It doesn't look like the lock is opened, though.
True. This isn't what we were told would happen.
I doubt the mages want us to just break it open. It's not their style.
Perhaps we haven't met a certain condition then?
Oh, wait! Does that mean the beating up part has to happen for this to proceed? You dare place your princessin in such a scene? 'Tis an affront of the highest order!
I'm afraid it may be the only way to end this, mein Fräulein. But not to worry. It's all pretend, after all.
Very well. I shall allow this trespass, if only to bring this to an end. Just be gentle.
Huh? Oh, right. Paimon's the weakest one here. Here goes nothing!
Ah, it's open!
Miss Alice does love to tease, doesn't she?
Congratulations on obtaining the Holy Lyre der Himmel. That's a wrap for now.
Wow! This is quite the gathering! And do you smell that? Is that the secret menu Barker was talking about? Oh, Paimon's stomach has been rumbling this whole time, so she's gonna dig in. Don't forget to grab some food before it's all gone, okay?
Oh, hello. Did you need something? You know, We often threw banquets like this when I was little. But then, as more and more of our ranks left on expeditions and I was left in charge, the number of celebrations decreased. I'm not the most natural entertainer after all. Now, seeing a gathering like this after all this time, I can't help but feel a bit regretful for not keeping up the tradition.
Well said, Traveler.
Barbara?
You told me you wanted the expedition members to feel at home. But in my eyes, the feeling of home isn't something you can force. Home is... what happens when we're all together like this?
Oh, you're right. And you know what? I've been coming to the same conclusion. The location isn't the most important factor. No matter how far we get from Mondstadt, home is wherever we're together. I appreciate the kind words, you two. I will do just that. Make sure to do the same, Traveler. It's not often you get to make it back here. There's a lot of people waiting to catch up. Now that we're outside the bubble and no longer in character, there should be plenty of time.
Hey! Honorary Knight! Look up! Pretty stellar view from up here, and the breeze is nice too. Care to join me?
Oh, of all the places to sit, it just had to be there. Well, to each their own, I suppose. Just be careful on the way up, Traveler.
As the battle hung in the balance, I spoke an incantation from the Emenachreich, broke through their ranks with ease, and thus the holy lyre was mine. 'Twas light work for one such as I.
Cyrus told me all about it. You were amazing. Having seen it for myself, I must admit, you were quite something, my lady. Why, I bet even Barbados himself would have been hard-pressed to catch up with you.
That was Hexencircle magic, not some incantation, but... whatever. Guess I'll let her have her moment.
Even though I didn't have a lot of lines, I still had fun. It kind of felt like being back in the Simulanka. Acting out a light-hearted script alongside a bunch of friends? It was nice to have a laid-back experience for once.
Quite a change of pace from our experience in Notpry, huh?
Yeah, this was far less complicated.
You can say that again.
Wanna eat at our table? A whole bunch of friends are there.
All right, let the relaxing begin.
Noelle! I've been looking everywhere for you. Come on, join us. Just give me 1 second. I need to bring a few crates of drinks over first. But I'll be done soon, I promise. In that case, I'll help you out.
Yeah. have a seat. I come bearing drinks. Booze free, of course. You're welcome. Ah, well, that's what being home is all about, right? Letting go, feeling at ease. Figure we both deserve that after all this time. You think so? Glad to hear it. There's no place like home. That's what people say, right? The expedition took me far and wide, and still, little alcohol in my system, it would all come back. The cathedral, the statue, the windmills in the city, the pigeons and dandelions in front of the gate. The further away you get, the more you miss it. I might be biased, but it means a lot that you care about this place. I get that. The people are what make Mondstadt what it is too. All the carefree kids running around, livening up the place. Which reminds me, I never thanked you for helping Mondstadt out back then. It takes a special person to do what you did. Most people are helpless in the face of abyssal corruption. Considering their target was Dvalin, things could have been bad. I suppose Barbados could have handled it, even though he hadn't been awake for long. But still, I doubt the ending would have turned out quite so perfect. Dvalin is family to him, you know? Having to choose between the dragon's life and Mondstadt's safety, that would have been cruel. Not to mention, the Wild Hunt would have reached our borders sooner or later. We'd have been stretched thin without your help. Maybe you've never put two and two together, but what you did in that land also helped reduce the threat of the Wild Hunt. If Natlan's crisis hadn't been resolved, the two abyssal powers might have joined forces at some point, making our situation even more dire. Ha! Look at us, taking down the Abyss in two separate nations. Doing the Knights of Favonius proud, aren't we? I guess not. In any case, for a knight, honor is something you get to define for yourself, no matter what the outside world thinks. And that's the question, isn't it? Why do we do what we do? But I think it's safe to say you already know the answer.
Ah, so this is where you've been hiding. You know, I don't think this was designed for sitting.
Ha! When did you become such a stickler? Come have a drink with us. There's plenty.
Don't mind if I do. Grape juice? Again?
You know, Charles would never let me hear the end of it if I started drinking without him.
Disappointing, but understandable. Oh, I almost forgot. Since this banquet is also for the actors, I invited Dvalin.
All right. Might hike up the bill a bit, but who cares? Haven't seen him in too long.
Yeah, well, he turned me down. He never did like being the center of attention. The city is a little too small for him to spread his wings. Even if no one is afraid of him, he could still take out a windmill or two. Guess it's better not to risk it.
Huh. Maybe it's time to draft a proposal to build him a landing pad.
The Traveler's right. If this is what makes him comfortable, might as well let him be. In the meantime, I propose a toast to our honorary knight.
To our honorary knight.
I often think about our parting at Windrise, you know. And now, almost in the blink of an eye, the final stop on your journey is just around the corner. Snezhnaya. The Tsaritsa's plans have continued to advance. Now, only the Pyronosis remains free from her grasp.
But if even the captain couldn't take Malwika's Gnosis by force, I guess we don't need to be concerned about its safety for now. So that's good news, at least.
You wouldn't be taking a dig at someone else's ability to hold on to their Gnosis, now would you, Grandmaster?
Of course not. I'm not one to rub salt in old wounds.
Her harbingers do often tend to take a rather extreme approach. Just look at Child or Senora. But we would be mistaken to ignore the fact that Senora did not win the Geonosis using force.
Right. You told me about the contract Morax signed with her before his death. You're saying she didn't need to resort to violence in Mondstadt either?
That's right. If she was able to provide a reason convincing enough to persuade Morax, she could have persuaded me no problem. I suppose she just didn't think there was a reason. I had just woken up, so I must not have seemed like much of a threat. Honestly, the Gnosis was of no use to me. I didn't care who it belonged to, or what means were used to take it. I just knew if I fought her in that moment, the cathedral, perhaps even the entire city, might have become collateral damage.
True. I wouldn't put it past Senora to take civilians as hostages either.
In the end, though, it was those same methods that led to her end. After all, her third target, the Raiden Shogun, wasn't a big negotiator back then. Perhaps Senora's success in Mondstadt and Liyue convinced her that she was a match for the Archon of any nation. You did the right thing. It pained me to see Inazuma as it was back then. I'm glad things have changed since. Of course, now the elite force of Harbingers has quite a few missing from its ranks, so I suspect that Tsaritsa no longer has the means to meddle in other nations like she used to. Who knows? Perhaps a chance to formally meet her in Snezhnaya might come sooner than we think.
Some of our knights remain stationed in Not Cry. If you need help, just say the word, and we'll be there.
The look in your eyes. It's changed a lot since you first set off from Mondstadt. But my advice remains unchanged. Never forget that the journey itself has meaning, traveler. The birds of Tevat, the songs in the cities, the Tsaritsa, her Fatui and the monsters, they are all part of that journey. Perhaps earth-shaking truths and indescribable trials await you at the end. Just remember, there is more to life than that. Alright, that's more than enough acting like a real Archon for one night. And still, not a sip of drink for dear old Venti at a time like this? You're no fun, Varka.
Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun! Da da da!
This is so fun, Mom!
I think so too. Come on, let's blow them all up!
Mom, when can I play with the magic toy you made me?
Very soon, darling. In fact, it should be ready tomorrow. I just know you're going to love it.
Yay! Can we play together?
Why, of course! We'll have ourselves a splendid time.
Keep up!
Alright, we made it! Time for round 2! Huh? Was this bubble this color before? Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. It was like this when I came to check on things this morning.
What? That can't be! How would the power of the abyss even get in there?
You sure know your stuff, Traveler. That's where my head went too. But I don't know. Something is different about this power.
What does that mean?
It seems to be in an embryonic state. Like an egg that hasn't hatched, the dark clouds before a storm, or an omen before disaster strikes.
Of course the world within the magic bubble is imaginary, so the same should be true of this abyssal power. At least for now.
You created this magic, right, Alice? Do you have any idea what's going on here?
Ooh, new magic does often come with its issues, so I can't say I'm entirely surprised something like this would crop up. As for a solution, however, I'm afraid I need more information first.
One thing is for certain, at least. Given the current threat, we'll have to close off the bubble to event participants. My apologies, Miss Alice. I know you've made a promise to Klee, but I'm not sure you'll be able to keep it.
Have we ever seen Alice look this serious?
Unprecedented crisis notwithstanding, it's too soon to just throw in the towel. What we should be focusing on is how we're going to fix this.
Are we talking about the Klee situation or the Abyss situation?
Both. Now, I have my suspicions, but I'll need someone to head into the bubble and confirm a few things. It's not like we can avoid going in there, right? We have to nip this crisis in the bud, after all.
I agree. We have to take action.
All right. I'll go convince Klee to play somewhere else for now and then head right back. In the meantime, Nicole, be a dear and keep observing the bubble from out here. Oh, and provide any fixes you can while the rest are inside.
I don't know, Alice. There are quite a few unknowns here. It's not like I can force people to head in there and take that risk. We angels aren't miracle workers.
You sure about that?
Fine. I'll do what I can. Just be quick, okay? This is your magic, after all.
Well, guess this is our best option. We're definitely not gonna sit back and watch.
The part where Barbados uses the lyre to summon abyss-corrupted Dvalin. Then, everyone joins forces to fight him inside Storm Terror's lair, purges him of abyssal influence, and there you have it. Happy ending.
Yep, that sounds like how it happened.
Well, we've got the gang from back then all here. Let's go in and find out what's happening.
Count me in too. Potential threat or not, if there's even the slightest chance Mondstadt is in danger, I need to get to the bottom of it.
Jean?
It's nothing. I was just feeling a bit, nostalgic, getting to work together like this again.
Yeah. Yesterday felt like that too.
Yes, but that was for fun. That which confronts us now is a real crisis. So I suppose the memories just came back to me all at once.
Ooh, look at you getting all sentimental! That's a first!
Well, I suppose I am a bit too high-strung most of the time.
Hey, don't be embarrassed to say what you feel. I think that's how things should be. It's how we all grow closer. Besides, the more you open up, the less people will be surprised like Paimon here when you choose to share something.
And just look at Paimon. No filter whatsoever, word vomits whatever comes to mind. And that's what makes her so endearing and approachable.
Ha! It's about time you gave Paimon a compliment, tone-deaf bard! Hang on. Was that a compliment?
Before we set off, I just want to stress that whatever is happening in the bubble right now is a huge unknown. I was able to maintain contact before, but right now all I can observe within is chaos, so I imagine communication might be cut off as well. It might be difficult for us to guide you, so proceed with caution.
Don't worry. This isn't our first time leaping headfirst into a dangerous situation.
There's also a last resort I can fall back on if worst comes to worst. Though it would mean all our recent hard work going to waste.
You mean destroying the bubble entirely?
Yes, if it comes down to it.
Alright, I'll monitor the situation from outside, and provide whatever external fixes and support I can in the meantime.
Understood. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Sound good?
All right, let's go.
Whoa! Is this Mondstadt? Didn't we all come in at the same time? Where are the others? Look! There's Venti! Surrounded by a whole bunch of monsters! Yeah!
Ah, perfect timing. Come on, let's show these unwelcome guests the door. Think you can get away? Let's play! Yeah!
I pieced together some of the communication control functions and managed to smash together some items that should give us an advantage. These electronic devices are useful in a pinch.
so, thanks to your timely arrival. But Mondstadt looks like it's in bad shape.
Yeah! The city's crawling with abyssal monsters. It's almost like we've already lost.
I'm not sure what happened, but the rest of our group might need backup. Let's find them first.
Good point. Let's go! Look! It's the Ballin! Is that just Paimon, or does he look way worse than back then?
You're right. The corruption has spread throughout his entire body. If we had failed to purify him in real life, I imagine this is what would have become of him.
Wait! It looks like something's falling!
It's his tears.
Like the ones we purified in the past?
Yes, but at this point, these tears are essentially crystallizations of abyssal power. If left unchecked, they will continuously summon abyssal monsters, and this disaster will never end. We also need to get our hands on one of them. No, this degree of corruption cannot be cleansed. Besides, we need them in their corrupted state if we want to summon Dvalin. I doubt the pure sound of the lyre can reach him in his current state.
Sounds like this whole thing is still gonna end in a confrontation, though. Just like back then.
Yes. I wasn't certain before Dvalin showed up, but now I'm sure this situation is more than simple chaos. It seems more like an alternate version of events, and I have some idea of how it came to be. Well, monsters abound no matter where we look. You choose where to go, and I'll follow. Think you can get away? Let's play! Yeah! Here we go! Let's play! Here we go!
Hey! Diluc is over there!
Time for takeoff! Yahoo! Yeah! Ugh, I'm not in the mood for this!
Made it. Thanks for the assist. Looks like Mondstadt is in dire straits. Did you see any knights or civilians on the way here? And my initial suspicion could be right. The Knights have abandoned the city and evacuated all civilians to a different location.
Abandon the city?
In the face of unrelenting abyssal attacks, it's possible they had no other choice. But none of that matters now. An empty city has its advantages. We won't need to divert our attention to protecting civilians for one. Oh, and this thing. It looks like one of Dvalin's tears. I don't feel good about just leaving it here.
That happens to be just what we were hoping to find. Let's take it with us.
Wait, what about Varka? Have you seen him?
No, I'm not sure where he is. We'll just have to keep looking. Oh, I think I saw Jean on the other side of the city. I was going to head over after clearing out these monsters. We should go help her.
Good idea.
Look, it's Jean!
Here we go. Yeah. You can. Think you can get away? Brace yourselves.
Thanks for the help. I know everything we encounter in this bubble is imaginary, but these monsters sure fight like the real thing. It's a bit too true to life.
Don't worry. As long as we collect Dvalin's tears, we can use this abyssal power to our advantage.
I see. In that case, let's get moving.
Have you seen Varka, by the way? We haven't found him yet.
No, he might be at the upper levels. Let's search together.
Better to find him soon than later. The Grandmaster is an exceptional warrior, but this is the abyss we're dealing with. You can never be too careful.
Time for takeoff. Here we go. Couldn't gliding be faster?
Huh? What happened? The statue's broken!
The Grandmaster should be over there. Come on, let's hurry.
We're here to help.
Perfect timing. Let's do this.
Wait, hear me. Think you can get away? Let's play!
Warrior sweeping in! Up the ante!
I swear by my sword! Time for takeoff.
Looks like we're all back together. Everyone in one piece?
Yes. The honorary knight arrived just in time to help us out.
Now that we've collected Dvalin's tears, the monster attacks appear to be easing up too. I'm sure you've noticed, Varka, but the city is pretty much a ghost town at this point.
Yeah, we should get out of here. No sense wasting our strength.
This place should be safe from monster attacks for now, at least.
Anyone there? The communication function bugged out again. Do you copy? It's me, Nicole. Alice just got back too.
Yeah, we can hear you now! What's going on?
When designing this experience, we cut out the part where the traveler cleanses the abyssal power, and we didn't think to replace it with a different sequence of events. I think what we're witnessing is a direct result of that. Alice and I thought the events in the bubble would be independent from each other. But since the magic is contained in one place. It appears a casual link has formed between all the events within it. And so, because Dvalin was never purified, we've encountered a major bug.
I knew it. So, what we're witnessing now is like an alternate version of events where the honorary knight never appeared in Mondstadt.
Wait, but even if the Traveler never showed up, you could have done something, right, Venti?
The Abyss is a far greater enemy than one person can face. I could have handled that specific situation, sure, but it wouldn't have gone quite so well. If I'm not mistaken, you've seen how that version of the story goes yourself, right, Farka? Through the mage's scryglass?
Yeah, it was a kind of prophecy. It felt so real, I doubt I could ever forget it. In the end, you were able to seal Dvalin away, but you were wounded in the process.
But if Dvalin was sealed, how did things get to this point?
Because a seal doesn't solve the root problem. Over time, the Abyss would just grow stronger and stronger, deteriorating Dvalin's consciousness until there was nothing left.
Wait! Does that mean what we saw earlier was...
The aftermath of Dvalin breaking free from the seal. That's right. He is in dire straits. The power of the Abyss has fused with his flesh and bones. Purifying him now in this state is no different than sentencing him to death.
So, if we want to resolve this crisis...
We have to kill Dvalin. I know that sounds intense, but remember, this is a fictional world. The real Dvalin is right as rain and a lot more mellow than this one, that's for sure. We have our solution, so let's hop to it. Should be a piece of cake for a group like this. No time to lose, right? We've got Klee waiting for us after all.
She's playing somewhere else right now, so we do have some time. Of course, the sooner we resolve this, the better.
You're right. This is the only way.
I know Dvalin means a lot to you. If this is too hard, you can leave it to us, you know? No need to scar yourself over a game, right?
I'll be fine. I was prepared for that possibility back then, too. Let's go. Storm Terror's lair awaits. This is it. Ready, everyone?
More than.
Of course. I just hope I learned a thing or two since the first time around.
Guess I'm the newbie, huh? Good thing I'm a quick learner then.
What about you, Traveler? This was your first big fight into that. Were you nervous back then? How about now?
I'm not nervous. We've all grown a lot since then. We overcame this challenge once, and we can do it again.
Paimon believes in you!
Then let the mournful cries of this lyre, tainted and defiled, summon a familiar now utterly warped.
You alright, Barbados?
Turning the surging abyss into musical notes is no simple task. But how could I claim to be the finest bard in Teyvat if I didn't rise to the occasion?
I have heard enough.
hulking dragon is as in... intimidating as ever!
Remember.